I want to give you another real life anecdote and get your thoughts on it.
Right.
And really, this is a teaching tool, again, for the leaders out there of what can happen if you don't self-promote and show people where you want to go. So I joined this firm in 99. The .com crash hit soon thereafter. That was the bad news. The good news was there was a lot of opportunity because people are jumping ship and quitting and all of that. Sure. And there was a long time field guy, a recruiter who had been with the company probably 20 years at that point. He had a great reputation. And where I'm going with this is they said, Mike, we want you to start a training department. And I said, okay. So I started a training department. My initial role, Debbie, was to start a leadership development program. And they said, we want you to start a training department as well. So I did that. Well, evidently the word got back to the executives that this longtime employee didn't have anything against me, but he was really put off that he didn't get that role. You know where I'm going with this. He had never told anybody he had aspired, to do that. First of all, to take that role, he would have had to move from one state to Tampa to our headquarters, but evidently he was willing to do that. But in the past, years back, he told people he was not interested in traveling or moving. So he had kind of disqualified himself. But worst, and he would have done a good job at this role, Debbie, he never told a soul. And so they gave it to me. And of course, the die was cast and I went and ran with it and all of that. And I felt bad for him because he really was not even considered. He was not considered because he hadn't said a word. And they asked him, good guy, he was a great guy, why didn't you say anything? He said, well, I've been here so long, I thought my reputation was such that when something like this came up, you would have thought of me. No.
And that is the number one mindset that holds people back. Many people assume that their great work, their reputation, the fact that they've been with the organization is going to make the difference and sort of speak for itself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It would be a great world if that's how it worked. It just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And that story had a happy ending. He really was a great guy. He stayed with the company at least another 10, 15 years and then left to go to another company. And the last I knew, he was on his own like we are in a consulting and coaching role and all of that. And great guy. He never held anything against me. Yeah. But it was a morale problem. I mean, he was legitimately, I think he was thinking about leaving the company.
I can imagine that he would. Yeah.
But he felt he had been passed over. The reality was he hadn't even been considered.
And that's the thing. Often we think that we're going to be recognized. And when we're not, we feel passed over. We internalize that. It affects decisions that we make, how we perform at work. Mm-hmm. And all we really need to do is raise our hand and say, hey, this is something I could do. And here's why.